What it do, gang, gang? It's your man Zen Master coming to you live and direct here tonight with our two favorite Dallas Cowboys analysts reporting to you live and direct from Big D. To my right here, we have our man Joey Flosa, Italian American. And to my left here, we got OGD Brown, the OG Cowboys analyst, right here, the senior analyst on Pass the
Indeed.
Joint, Straight No Chasers Podcast. We're not going to waste no time tonight. On Tuesday nights, what we like to do is go ahead and recap the previous week or the previous game, which just happened to be last night in this case. Dallas Cowboys with a resounding victory. This game was over by halftime. By the third quarter, I was doing other things. I know you guys probably were enjoying your victory,
Indeed.
but immediate reactions to this victory, guys.
Well, I mean, I think it was what they had to have. Um, it, you know, we can't, we go through this whole thing of qualifying wins in the NFL, and look, man, there's still NFL wins. All right, and it was just one that they had to have. It's still, yet and still, their playoff odds are long. But I think you saw what you needed to saw. Sometimes in football, right? Like you're watching a player or even sometimes a team just to see if under the big spotlight whether or not they blow it. Doesn't mean that you crown them champions, but you have this period you're going through throughout the season and throughout games where you're like, okay, well, if they blow it, okay, then there's something seriously wrong. But if they win and do what they're supposed to do, which that was definitely the case here, um, Las Vegas could get no run game going again. And everything with Las Vegas is tied to their offensive line, revolving door, and just, guys that probably wouldn't be on any other NFL roster other than the one that they're on now. But hey, you know what? Play who's in front of you. I keep saying, still an NFL team. And Quentin Williams, all that was advertised. He was everything that was advertised. Disruptive in the pass game. Genty ran for like 7 yards on 6 carries. Okay. That you're doing pretty good at that point in terms of your defensive line. And it was something that we touched on, here on the show, that when you are stymieing the run game, okay, the pass situations become that much more predictable, not only for the team and the defense, but for Quentin Williams. He knows when he needs to swim, rip, dip, get up under, maybe do the old jumpy gathers, forklift, whatever he needs to do to get to the quarterback, because, and largely by his hand, the team is in passing situations. Again, we talk about it here, and I take so much umbrage with local media and with nationwide media, national media, just in terms of some of, the opinions and some of the things that they talk about and use as basis on their show. And I've said this from day one, for example, well, he had 100 yards, but he got one of them, one of them was a 60-yard run. And, if you take that away, no, you can't take that away. All right. Everything affects everything. When you're clamping down that run game, then the passing situations that you put them in are much more favorable for the defense. Everything affects everything. And I've heard this, well, one player can't do this. One dynamic D lineman can make a huge difference on your football team. Right? It was, one player can't make a difference, but all of a sudden Micah gets to Green Bay. Oh, shit, they're going to win the ball. Look, the fact of the matter is one player can make a difference defensively, and defensively they can do it a lot quicker just because of the nature of playing defense, particularly a defensive lineman. Yes, that's what you saw. Best defensive effort out of the Cowboys for this entire year. All right? Held them to under 250, held them to under 20. All right? Under 250 yards, under 20 points. And again, in large part because there was no run game. So the pass game was easier to defend. This is what people meant. Well, one guy couldn't do this. Emmett Smith in his prime couldn't help this run game. Bullshit. Emmett Smith in his prime helps any fucking run game and makes a huge difference. It's just an extreme example that I'm making. Yeah, a pivotal player at a pivotal spot who is easily top 5. Okay. The only D tackles that I could name better than Williams, and it would only be slightly, would be Jones, Vita Vea, you got Hamilton, and believe it or not, Calais Campbell is still bumping around. That's my man right there. Calais is still getting it done, man. 6'8", 330, still, at like 39 or whatever, getting it done. Again, it's a pivotal position. We saw more of the 5-line stuff that we thought we would see. Overshown and them chipped in, but where did it all start? As I land the plane, up front on the D-line. That's where it started.
D Brown, your immediate reaction to Week 11's victory.
So a couple things. I'll piggyback on the defensive performance from what Joey laid out, and I agree with much of what he said in terms of particularly as it pertains to Quentin Williams. I mean, Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast last night. When you add a guy that is, irrefutably a top 5 guy, at his position,
probably top 3.
Yeah, probably top 3 at his position, and maybe easily top 10 in terms of just defensive impact. Period. You get better, right? And you saw that. Now, the Raiders' offensive line is a hodgepodge of in terms of an effective unit. So if you're going to highlight someone's strengths and introduce yourself to the base, as it were, or the team and what have you. Not saying that he can't do it against a higher level or a higher quality of line, which Dallas will definitely see in the upcoming game against Philly. But
they still doubled him. They still doubled him. They still doubled him. They still doubled him. They still doubled
This one winds up being intercepted.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Holy shit.
What is this? Is this
I don't know what's going on, fellas.
Simulation of Eagles versus Cowboys on
we got an infinity mirror somehow.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
What the hell?
All right, so
they play action with Hurts. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 50-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now 2nd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now Hurts is going to do it himself. And he is tackled inside the 49.
We back. My bad. What the hell? Did y'all get all that crazy ass interference and noise and stuff too? Okay. I can't hear anything right now. I don't know what just happened on my end. So I'm going to exit and come right back. Apologies to everyone out there. Be right back. Okay. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you, D. Joey D, you're muted. Got you. Can you say something?
Here we go.
Okay. Okay. Damn. Sorry, guys. Listening, viewing audience. These things are going to happen. Unfortunately, they are. So I apologize for the technical difficulties, and we'll pick up where we left off. D Brown, again, your immediate reaction.
Yeah, yeah, man. So just to kind of piggyback on some of what Joe was saying in terms of since he landed on the defensive performance, that was interesting to see because that was obviously the most um, probably the most watched, or I should say most tuned in terms of what we would see differently when you add an impact player like Quentin Williams. You had Logan Wilson, you got Malik Hooker back, DeMarvion Overshown, got him back for a few snaps. And what I was encouraged by is that you saw the immediate impact of everybody that was involved, everybody I just named, right?
Yeah.
Starting with Quentin Williams. I mean, Quentin Williams is the absolute truth. And regardless of the fact that, the Raiders' offensive line is definitely a work in progress and something to be considered in terms of improvement. But, Joey made the point just a moment ago. They were doubling the guy, and he was absolutely destroying double teams. I mean, you see the disruptive talent that this guy is. And something that I want to point out, particularly that we talked about on Sunday's pregame, was when you add a guy like Quentin Williams, who is, again, irrefutably one of the most destructive defensive line talents in the league. You want to see performances, you want to see impact and input from guys that you expected to input the defensive play in the beginning. Guys like Odigizua, you got that. Guys like Clark, you got that. And of course, Conley was impactful as well. The rookie Azaraku, guys that are playing up front. So it was great to see the immediate impact when you bring a guy in who has a lot of pomp and circumstance, and he makes plays. Actually, in the books for 1.5 sacks last night, was disruptive all night. I saw some footage that former NFL player and analyst Brian Baldinger did a really good job of breaking down some plays in the game, and he highlighted Quentin Williams, and you just saw in successive plays early in the game just how disruptive that guy is. And so, I'll be damned if we didn't see some really quality play from the guy that we just deservedly lambasted in the linebacker core as well. So, I don't know if there's the trade that prompted that up. You saw some good plays out of Malik Hooker. Deron Bland got back to form today. I thought he had a pretty good overall game. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I remember specifically making the point that if there's one guy, because we brought the point up about Dak being able to bounce back, having a couple of subpar weeks as the leader of an offense that hadn't performed as well as they performed for much of the season. Well, they got their act back together despite the benching of the initial series, which kind of threw everybody off, of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. That opening series, you're like, damn, what the hell's going on here? A couple of, kind of pedestrian running plays. That gets Max Crosby, forces a fumble. You're like, oh, shit, here we go. But they survive. They hold, force the Raiders to settle for a field goal. And then they never, Dallas, that is, never offensively really looked back. And once they got it to 17-6, really wasn't in doubt because you saw Dak and that offense really pretty much get what they want. George Pickens continues to solidify his big contract that's upcoming. I just I have to think that even though he's going to be a big target for teams to sign, particularly those that have the cap room, he's going to have to take into consideration that a lot of what he's seeing, a lot of what he's getting is, being the beneficiary of playing with, a big time talent on the opposite side of the field in CeeDee Lamb. So, but as far as the game last night, man, he was, his ability, which again, I didn't really see much of in terms of after the catch during his time in Pittsburgh, y'all. But man, some of the plays that he made especially on the touchdowns that he scored. I mean, he's taking what's seemingly a mundane routine play, for a decent gainer. And then he gets upfield and he sticks his left foot in the ground. 3 guys converge on him and he splits them all and just walks into the end zone and
Don't matter.
makes it look.
And that's why you run those hookups over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Run them hookups over and
and
over
just
again. He does
make
that
it look
shit.
It's 80-20 with him. It ain't 50-50.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jen. And it's so overall, it was good to see them bounce back. I know there was a lot of emotion in the game. It was talked about a lot before the game, a lot afterwards. I thought, the leadership and Shoddy, and of course, you saw a little bit of the pregame, very emotional speech that Dak gave his squad when the game, before the game started. So overall, it's good to see them bounce back to get a game they absolutely needed to get, just for, preparing themselves mentally for what we talked about all season. Now they're facing the gauntlet. So to go into that game with good vibes, having dominated team that I think we all, have the consensus that they damn well should have dominated, beat them handily. To quote my guy Cliff, the recent birthday boy, they beat their ass, and it was good to see that. So, the takeaway is, now you're teased a little bit. Like, is there any way they can sustain this over now? What we knew going, from 4 or 5 weeks ago, the gauntlet, the most difficult part of their season. They're going to play the next 2 weeks will be the last 2 Super Bowl champions, right? So we're about to find out exactly, what this ability to sustain and gain some momentum is or is not right now. But as far as last night is concerned, good to see that at least they put themselves in the conversation to have something to look forward to facing the Super Bowl champions next Sunday.
I agree. Last night was special. As I lose one of my lights, I'll take care of that momentarily. I want to introduce the host of Straight No Chaser, the innovator, the creator, our man, Cliff.
There he is.
What up, people?
Cliff, your take on Week 11's action against the Las Vegas Raiders there at Allegiant Stadium.
Well, okay, so in real time, I caught half the game because yesterday was like literally my birthday. So, libations were flowing.
No way. I don't believe that. No way. No way.
Again, happy birthday to Cliff.
Yes, indeed.
He's getting old like me.
Hey, man. 42, what it do, man? Shout out to Paul Wall.
That is.
No, man. I mean, listen, man. I was out there and God damn, I keep getting where in Cali, but it's like hour away. Nice and remote. At the nice little
Was you out in Palm Springs?
Huh?
Was you out in Palm Springs?
No, man. Damn, I keep forgetting the doggone name. All right, it'll come to me. But I had a good time out there, in remote land out there in the hills. I got into the hot tub jacuzzi when it was like snow weather and all that. So I caught half of the game, coherently.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, man, this is what we expected from, this transaction, and I got to give Jerry Jones a lot of credit. So, because when people like us in the cheap seats were like, why is he so like keying about these trades that he got down the line, right? So we all like, nigga, we 3-5-1. Like, what is there to be smiling like a Cheshire cat about? And we saw, okay, first transaction, buddy from Cincinnati. What's his name? I keep forgetting it.
Logan Wilson. All right.
Okay, we need a linebacker, I guess. But then he dropped the Quentin Williams on you. You're like, ooh, yeah, damn.
Right.
And I gotta say, before the bye week, he does this, so he got a whole week to acclimate himself to what Eberflus has going to put a big, rescue. What's that old show? Come on, MASH.
Yeah. Not the mash unit. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you brought a big fix to our problem, bringing in, Quentin Williams. And listen, man, without getting too technical, because shout out to Joey Flosa, man. JC know everything. JC is the epitome of, a football savant. I'm coming at you with this goofy ass, just overall take of things that tend to be right. Man, this dude went and had 1.5 sacks, which I think it pushed him like number 3 already. The Cowboys.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Not even considering what he did with the Jets.
That's a damn shame. Parsons
Indeed.
would be at 11 by now.
I mean,
Ravel had a pass deflection. He's already amongst the team leaders.
Come on now. Come on.
I swear the Steelers and the Cowboys are mirror images this year. I swear. Same shit going on.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not so caught up on, in the standpoint of like, okay, we expect these great grandiose things, but I got to give Jerry his credit because he was sitting on that shit like the Cheshire Cat, just smiling ear to ear, like, yeah, y'all know what I just did though.
Right, wait till y'all see this shit.
Wait till y'all see this shit. and I gotta say, I don't care how bad the Raiders are, because like Zen said, he simulated 3 games. We lost 2 of the 3 of simulation. Now I know that doesn't have forbearance on actual results, but we can lose anybody. I think we've well established that, and we look like a good fucking football team, sir.
Yeah, they look ready. From the opening bell. They looked ready.
We look like a good fucking foot, and that's all I ask for is competency, and that's what the Cowboys are right now. And this is what I wanted week 2, week 3.
Right.
So then I can hit my wagon, hit my trailer to this wagon. You feel me? To this truck, for that matter. So to land it all, like we talked about this before the game. Rising tide will raise boats. And Quentin Williams, I'm sorry, the first audition, the dress rehearsal,
fresh out the pack,
the improv.
Because I said before the game, this was Alshon Genty's game to get off, where you can basically, be all that you can be against the Cowboys.
Correct.
Wait, y'all got a nigga named Al Dente? What the fuck?
That's hilarious.
So going forward, we also had Geno Smith. If you can get your rocks off, fresh pussy in Frisco against the Cowboys, and that didn't happen.
Yeah,
because we saw Jacoby Brissett just do it. We saw Bo Nix do it.
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth.
Caleb Williams, Russell Wilson,
who me and him had the same amount of passing yards last week. 0.
Right.
Nigga have a fucking career day against us.
Literally. Yep.
You feel me? Literally. Yeah.
Literally had a career day. Right.
I know my voice inflection is high, but I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm literally stating what we saw. So all those things considered, I'm not listening to people say, oh, it's just the Raiders. Because guess what? We fuck up games against just the whoever. Just the Panthers. Just the whoever. So, man, listen, man, I was very impressed. Quentin Williams, again, 1.5 sacks. First game out the block. Followed by, our leader in sacks, which is going to be 1. So I don't have my stream up. Nigga, that's James Houston. James Houston got 4.5 sacks, being our top sack leader. So he got 1.5 already. Listen, sign me the fuck up. I love what I saw. And fucking, how about them Cowboys?
There it is.
There you have it.
Hey, man, real quick. Like you were saying, like, I got soul boy, my man. Like, we would hoop together and shit, right? And one day, he made this buster look like Karl Malone. And we were like, damn, man, you made this cat Shaw look like Karl Malone. right? Like that's what you're always afraid of, right? All of a sudden, Bryce Young coming out party, Ashton Genty,
As soon as
210, free
soon as
score.
I talk shit about
Right.
Bryce Young, he broke
Always
the fuck
worried
out.
about that, yeah, right? Like that's so. Anyway, man, I'm sorry. Back to the panel, but yeah, man, made this motherfucker like Karl Malone. Like, damn, man. Anyway, yes, agreed,
Let's
100%.
let's stick with you, Joey, for the next topic, since we got you up on the big screen. And the next topic is this emotional win, which we are talking about, and the fact that the Cowboys have not and will not let the memory of Marshawn Kneeling go to waste.
Well, they're all emotional now. Tied into Marshawn, just where they're at in the season. You don't want to say, well, it's not something that you're looking for to be galvanizing. Obviously, no one is looking for that. But at the same time, it could be, because of his presence, some massive reset, as Cliff had mentioned, just bye week, reset, right? And so, football is such an emotional game. And what have you done for me lately? And things like this can galvanize the team.
Absolutely.
Again, like I said, it's not something that you're looking for, but when you add it's something else, it's another rallying cry. When you add in the fact that they brought these new cats in, you come off the bye week, you literally can't get that mentality, and that's really what it's all about. As trite and worn out as it sounds, it's all about mindset. Like this. Okay, when the some bitch gets the Eagles 4-3, get 2 fucking safeties and win the game by
Do
1.
what you got to do.
I don't care.
People are complaining about how the Eagles won.
Ugly ass win out of this one and catch KC in kind of a downward trend, which they are right now, but we all know that shit can change instantaneously. All right. But hey, man, they're a little bit down right now. And that's kind of, what you want. You rather them be down, you rather them be 5-5, man, than be fucking 10-0.
Hey, JC, let me still man your point. You want to get the bad bitch when she down, when she just broke up with her dude, and you go take her down and like, listen, man, hey, I took down a 9.
Indeed.
I took her down when she was down.
Indeed.
Predator.
It all counts.
Look at this Predator.
Hey, I'm the one that brought a spark back into your life.
God, you shouldn't be alone right now.
You were going nowhere. And then this guy, me, I came in and you're like that, it's like that. And I'm a baller. And I came in and I turned your shit around. You got to play that too.
Tommy Dennis Rodman.
I'm like, yeah,
king
I
of the
came in,
footback.
yeah, like I showed up and turned shit around. Because obviously I'm cold as fuck. Like I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like that goes without saying. I'm the dude, and here I am with you. Damn, look at how your life has turned around.
It don't matter when I hit.
You know what I'm saying? Right? And then
Run
it's
the
all
play.
fucking, and then it's all fucking, and then it's one fucking
Like that.
disappointment after another after that. But anyway, hey, and I'm not speaking about my life, but then again, I am. Because I did this, I know it's so funny you say that. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? Like I ain't got engaged to a broad, and she was with a buster, right? And I'm like, and I'm not trying to dog pile on nobody. Hey, look, that's a relationship between man and woman. I wasn't there. I don't know. I ain't trying to dog pile because like some cats are like, yeah, he wasn't shit. I don't even know the motherfucker. How am I gonna crack on him, right? But I'm like, yeah, that's a tough thing. Well, I don't get down like that. That's what the folk store, right? They're winning, scoring points, and then all of a sudden, after a fucking year of jorts, weed, whiskey, and fucking NFL Network 24 hours a day, shit, this guy's not so great. Anyway, I digress.
Hey, listen, man, it's not about how you win, it's if you won. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
100%.
So we'll take the dub, is my point.
That's right, damn right. We're chalking that bitch up. We're banking it. Piss off.
What do the standings say?
Folks, let me get this show back on track just a little bit. Cliff,
4-5-1, heart of a champion.
any thoughts on the emotional driver that is Marshawn Kneeland for the Dallas Cowboys at this point? 94.
Listen, man, I'm not in the locker room, so I can't, articulate what the guys feel.
Facts.
From a fan standpoint, I don't have a lot of connection to brother Marshawn. Just from a human standpoint, definitely I hate the fact that he lost his life for the events that happened. But from a Cowboy fan standpoint, it's not enough for me to really take on too much from it, if that makes sense. So
no, it's true. It's facts. You're speaking real.
No, that's what I'm gonna do. Unapologetically. I don't care who don't like it.
Keep it.
You're speaking real, man. You're talking facts. Preach.
But again, I don't know what his comrades in the locker room feel. So, but I would assume for 2 years, well, a year and a half of interactions, that they feel a big swell of support for him, no matter what, whether he's right, wrong, or indifferent.
Correct.
They still feel a lot for their brother who's been in the trenches for them for a year and a half. So that I think that does play into it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How things go, going forward, I don't think there's a lot to it past this year. But I mean, listen, man, I don't want to undermine what he may have felt, because actually in real life, before he, met his demise, he scored a touchdown on defense, which is very hard to do.
Very true.
All things you just don't see a lot. So I guess that's where I'm at overall with Marshawn Kneeland's, impact on the Cowboys. I just think that in that time, Quentin Williams coming over and I keep forgetting his name, buddy, on the linebacker.
Yeah, Logan Wilson.
Yeah. I think we've moved way past that, and I'm not trying to, to be too crass with this statement, but I think we moved way past his storyline, if that makes sense.
Understood.
But not to be disrespectful at all.
Sure.
The young man lost his life, but I think that this game was a statement. But going forward, I think we it's more about George Pickens going forward, because God damn, I love me some George Pickens. Shit.
All right now. We let the snake out of our house and into yours. Believe me, this motherfucker's gonna bite you sooner or later.
And you could say this. You could say the same thing about. You could say same thing about Kneeland, and that you could say about Pickens or about anything. This is a disclaimer, people, for the world of sports talk. We ain't in that locker room, man. Exactly. I know, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna jump off. Look, as a coach, as a head coach. Right now, I had a great situation. Team was terrible that I took over, so anything was a fucking bonus, right? So I could just let fly. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing that I said is, look, your friends, your mama, your girlfriends, all right, people that talk to you on the street, they don't know shit about what's going on up in here in the locker room. That's us. We're the only ones that really, really, really for real, not fucking beat writers, all right? You know what I'm saying? Or any of that shit. We know what's going on up in here. So I would agree with Cliff and back his statement 100%. And this should almost be a disclaimer, but it's like, damn, it's like the disclaimer I used to give about McCarthy. Hey, I don't want to disparage anything that Coach McCarthy did to rise to his station in life. But then, you get to the point where as you're in that seat, and you're getting criticized, it's reality. And that's what this is.
Right.
This is reality. We're not in that locker room. So what we're trying to do here on this show, no disrespect to anybody in life, is we're trying to live in reality.
Boom.
100.
D. Brown, your take on the emotional response to the death of Marshawn Kneeland as a motivator for the Dallas Cowboys moving forward.
I think because of the proximity of when things happen to this game and this team situation, I think it definitely played a huge factor in this game. Going forward, that diminishes some because it's going to go down to, are they going to carry their memory and their reverence and what have you of that young man and what he meant to that locker room. Like my two colleagues have very aptly stated, we're not privy to. We've seen glimpses. I saw the post game reaction. When Shotty does his celebratory thing with the team,
And
and
we compare it to our experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's what we
right,
do. We compare it to our own locker room experiences.
right, and there's some relevance there because we've all been in those situations where
Unfortunately, yes.
we have that moment or that action or what have you that something adverse happens to the team and it's a galvanizing thing. But as you go forward, because to Cliff's point, not to diminish the incredible sense of loss, that when you go through a camp and you're going through a season, and we've all been on teams and what have you. I mean, those are your guys, right? Regardless of their role. You see these guys put the uniform on, they take a locker, you're traveling, you're dining, they're big upping you on the sideline, whether they're starters or backup guys, what have you. But those are the guys that you're rolling with. So that's a real sense of loss that I think we all can speak to that. As it relates to the results on the field for this team, I think it played a big part in what happened last night. You saw a concerted effort that you hadn't seen in the 2 weeks previous, and they got a win that they needed to win to do whatever substantive that they would try to get out of this season. But to Cliff's point, fact of the matter is, that as they go forward, that action and the emotion from it is going to factor less in than say the level of execution and focus and those things that are necessary to beat the defending Super Bowl champion Sunday, to defeat the previous champion before them on Thanksgiving, to defeat a real contender like Detroit, to defeat a Charger team or what and I think the other team that they've got to deal with.
Minnesota, Detroit.
Yeah.
It's like that's the gauntlet, like you talked about.
It's the gauntlet. It's Minnesota, right? So, it's going to come down to, with the distance that they have, with knowing what's in front of them, and the fact that the opportunities that were there for them, by and large, this team, underperformed. So now all of a sudden, these teams are, these games are now much bigger in scope in terms of must win if you are having any sense or semblance of making the postseason, right? Like they've literally played themselves to the point where there's no margin for error. But as relative to the game last night, I think emotion played a huge part in it. It was kind of cool to see, especially in if you didn't get a chance to see it, the post game activities in the locker room. Shotty is a big energy guy, and before he went to big up everybody, he sit there, took a moment, and he choked up, and notably so, because they're all wearing the Marshawn Nealon shirts and what have you, and then he just goes to tell the team, I'm so proud of you guys, and he's barely able to get it out. I think Odigizua goes over to hug him as he's big upping everybody and on what their effort was, and we said, we made him proud. Well, that's great for last night. Going forward, that's going to factor in less and less. Yeah, they're going to hold on to the memories. Yeah, they're going to try to tap in to his what his energy meant to them. But the bottom line is they're going to have to execute. They're going to have to play at a consistently high level to have some meaningful conversation about the remainder of this season. But
you hope it flips the switch. You hope it flips the switch when they're down. Hey, when you're down, think back about the memory of this kid and just the great energy that he had and how fleeting this is. And when you think about how fleeting life is and you got to go play a football game, you're like, shit, may as well play balls to the wall, baby. Like, I got nothing to lose because the shit can go away like that.
And it did. Like that. You sound like Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, to your point, Joey, it absolutely did. like the the gentleman on the show. This young man scored think Cliff brought it up, a touchdown defensively, which is damn hard to do. Guys go their whole defensive careers and never get in the end zone. Right.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, a particular highest of highs, and then 48, 72 hours later, he's gone. Like the young man's not here anymore. So I think it factored Major League in the game last night, but it's going to come down to the 60-minute the 60-minute wars that they're going to have to fight their way through, and there's going to be an attachment, but they're going to have to execute. They're going to have to play well, and we'll see how it goes forward from this point on.
I want to just add to what Cliff was saying, and again, this is not, this is, and I want to say this. I want to be very clear about this. All right, and like what Cliff pointed out, was something that was very factual, and I just want to say, not to be a dick when I say this. All right, we learn behavior through the behavior of others a lot of times. And again, I don't know what went through or what the circumstances were in Marshawn Nealon's mind when this happened. But when you're going to play a football game, hey, man, you know what? Play balls to the wall. And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to end it myself. And I'm sorry if that sounds effed up. I look at it a lot differently because my mother's still alive. I have sons, and I can't say anything about Marshawn's situation in his mind because it had to be something very, very powerful. But again, as I said before, from a personal standpoint and from I know a lot of people's personal standpoint, do the best you can in life, handle your business and let it play out, man. Ending it like that and taking it into your own hands that way is not the way to go. No disrespect towards Marshawn and what was going through his head at the time. But I think it can motivate you in that way.
I also want to make the point again that we're dealing with a disease, a brain disease in football players that we saw a high school football player run up in the NFL's office, or at least attempt to, in New York City, to unalive people. And after they unalived him, it was determined that he had CTE. So it does not take an NFL career. It doesn't take an NCAA career. It takes high school, and it may even go down to Pop Warner. So I don't think we can
I've had
dismiss
3
that
concussions
as a factor.
that have been documented, and it's probably close to the 6.
As a Steelers fan who had to watch Justin Strzelczyk blow up on the freeway, who had to see a movie about Jack Ham dying in his freaking truck while his family could do nothing about it.
Wow.
Who knows
Mike Webster.
Who knows Mike Webster, thank you. Who knows Carlton Hasselrig personally? I know him personally. I know his family personally. I know how he died. It's real. And
that's a variable you can't account for. You can't account for that variable. You just can't.
Well, I would say this to kind of capstone this whole discussion. Because listen, man, all of us who played sports at a semi-decent level to a high level, listen, man, that come with the job.
It does.
Because listen, man,
good shit can happen in practice.
Okay, so again, I want to shout out to my former coach Daryl Hawkins, who played at Arkansas. With Todd Day and Colas Williamson and all that. Man, and one of his lines, I mean, he's a very emotional guy, but one of his lines that there's apropos of this is like, man, listen, man, if you blow your fucking knee out hooping, you blow your fucking knee out. That's what come with the damn job. So I understand that these
if there wasn't that risk, no one would care. No one would watch.
This is why they get paid the money they get paid.
That's why when you walk around campus and you're an athlete, that's why you get holes on your nuts. That's why you get motherfuckers envy who you are, hating or adulating what you do. That's why it's a risk. I'm sorry. You wake up at fucking 5 a.m. and go run and shit. Nigga, that shit has a lot of effect on your career. So I'm gonna put it like this to everybody. If you go to a coach and say, "Hey, coach, I gotta miss practice for studying," look at the stupid ass look your coach gonna give you, right? If you go look, you tell your coach, "I gotta miss practice to go study," nigga, you not playing, right?
No.
That's what it's baked into the cake. So when people say, you know what I'm saying, like with the CTE and the emotional shit, yeah, absolutely. But that's what we sign up for as athletes.
100%.
Because that's why you're not a regular ass nigga with a hands-off fucking
Right.
engineering degree who's gonna make great money, great salary, have a great life. But guess what? You never had to do no trench work. That's why motherfuckers go collide heads. You say that's why you got all
100%.
That's awesome.
Man, if anybody could do this, if anybody could do the shit, wouldn't
Everybody do
nobody
it.
care.
No,
If anybody could do the shit, wouldn't nobody care.
exactly. So what I'm saying is these are the this is like the residuals of the requirements. You got to go out there and overexert yourself. You got to go out there and, you know, quiet as kept, put your academia to the side, and you put your football shit to the fucking forefront. That's what fucking college sports is. So when you move to the professional lens, nigga, you make the money that less than 1% of people making this on this motherfucking planet. So guess what, nigga? It's gonna be some shit required that you don't
lot of shit
experience. That motherfuckers, you know, who have regular jobs, regular situations, that they won't even fathom your life. They won't fathom it.
That's facts.
This ain't that. This is some real shit. This ain't that. This is big money. This is some real shit. All right. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna land the plane like this, right? Like your man said in Godfather, when that happened and they had to go talk to that guy, I didn't complain. It was business. This is the life that we chose. Not like that, but more as it relates to injuries. As it relates to injuries and stress and everything that Cliff is talking about, this is the life you chose. Like the engineering thing and all this shit, man, and working, you know, and fucking trade stocks. This ain't that.
Nope.
This is something different.
Not even
right?
a little
And it's
bit.
crazy stressful, man. And Nealon could have spoke to that and lived that because he was a starter or at least rotational player that played a lot every single week. That's a different deal than regular human beings experience. Factually.
It's a car
He's
accident.
a defensive lineman, and it's a different deal.
And the most
second round pick.
Yeah,
second round pick. What was that? 4 or 5 million guaranteed. Different deal.
Fellas, we got to move on. We got to move on. We have other topics today. R.I.P. to the late Marshawn Neal.
Well, I'm gonna just say, Zen, niggas need to hear this shit because I understand the emotional part of coping with that, but nigga, you are paid most than like politicians, than fucking, you know, high level CEOs. You are in a seat that most people will never experience. So
at 24 years old.
Realize all those things. That's all I'm saying. Man.
Yeah,
life's a motherfucker, and there's a cost. There ain't no free lunch.
Look, y'all.
Period.
Hit that like button.
Yeah,
hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you head on over to Hoop Jargon's channel and subscribe to Hoop Jargon. You see the address there at the bottom. All right, but we got to move on to our next topic, and that is the sensational play of one Dakota Rain Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, formerly panned as Dink and Dunk, seems to have shed that label, seems to have
a long time ago,
you know, grown up in the game. As far as I'm concerned, he looks like a complete product now. Your impressions on Dak and the new look offense coming off of this win in Las Vegas. We're going to go to D Brown.
Man, so I remember as I'm watching the game unfold and Dak really got into his rhythm and he's doing his thing. Yeah, I distinctly remember in our show, in the pregame show Sunday, that there was the one guy that I expect, because that was one of our talking points, was, could Dak bounce back? And there was one game that I fully expected, because I've seen it, to bounce back and play well and play at a particularly high level. It would be, number 4. It'd be QB1. And he did that. Even just, and the beautiful part was that despite the very, very early adversity of, getting stripped by the indefatigable Max Crosby, who could play for me any day, by the way. He just went out there and he was surgical, and for those, when you watch the games, particularly if you're not a Cowboy fan and, and you're waiting for the wheels to fall off, to dogpile and all those things. But, when Dak has the type of game that he has, he's like, oh, well, I saw an absolute asinine statement online earlier today. Well, it's the Raiders. They're a little bit better than Pop Warner team. It's like, dude, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. These motherfuckers are pros. Nothing about Max Crosby will ever be on a Pop Warner level team. Get the fuck out of here. So,
Ashton Johnson's a gamer. We're gonna find that out the long term.
Right. So, but I thought Dak was sensational, and I thought the line, as we talked, that there's a very real and very distinct correlation there. Troy Aikman was saying, during the broadcast, when Dak Prescott is given time, particularly in the play action game, he is as good. He is as good as anybody in football. I don't give a damn. If Dak Prescott, where he is now, having been, he's a seasoned vet now. He's in what, year 9, year 10. He is as good as anybody in football, given time, and be able to work off play action. Right.
Playing his 10th season, sir.
Right. So when you've got the weapons that he has to utilize, and he's able, to work off that play action game and get the ball, downfield. He hasn't really been the Dak and dunk guy probably since year 3. Dak's probably been either at or near the top of the league in yards per attempt as far as, that deal. Probably 6 of the 9.5 years that he's played. So
I would say year 2, he was Mr. Dump Off.
Yeah.
After year 3, and from then on, peace out. It was totally different. Yeah.
And we know what he is now. When you see him, I really love Dak when they have like the naked action, or just strict, like a really nice play action deal when they've got the run game going, and he turns, and he is as good as far as timing goes. Set that back foot on.
Yeah. You have a good feeling when he sets up. You have a good feeling when he does that boot when he sets up. Yeah,
no doubt. And he sticks that back foot and he just lets it rip. And it's this season it's Pickens, it's CeeDee, it's Ferguson, and he's got a real good feel for. I don't like it. I'm going through my progressions. Drop it out in the flat. He's making the right play, and that's an extension of offensive line play. So. Was I surprised that he bounced back and had a monster game? Absolutely not. He's that level of guy. And even the very best of them have, an off week or 2 or 3, but he is of that tier to be able to bounce back and be the better quarterback on the field more nights than not. And last night was indicative of that, and that's why they had the big win.
And you see it, right? Like. You see the progression of him as a quarterback. It's primary. Do I have time to go to secondary? And you see with CeeDee back, right? Like that big cross, right? That big, deep crossing route, which takes time. There it is. It takes time. Offensive line's got a block in that.
Correct.
For him to get that big, massive crossing route to CeeDee, which Dak throws that as well as he does the takeoff and the hookups. He's good at throwing the takeoff. He's good at throwing the hookups. Pickens will catch the hookups and CeeDee as well and turn them, and Ferguson makes his living on hookups. It's just like you said, DB. It's amazing. Wow, I'm shocked. Quarterbacks do well when they have time to throw.
Yeah.
Okay, as opposed to when they don't. And he's that guy. And this is why, okay, when the Cowboys got cute and said, well, when Jerry said, well, I'm all in, like he was going to let Dak play out. So we go the whole offseason, right, where, I'm not signing Dak. We're going to see. And I'm thinking, okay, man, that's ballsy, right? Like, hey, man, we know the 3 straight 12-5s, blase, but let's see what's really happening now. You got this and you're done, and we'll see what's up. And what happened? We're doing the fucking pregame for week 1 of that season. Oh, shit, Dak signed, right? And he signed
right out of the tunnel
for $6 million more than fucking Tua, Love, and Sunshine Lawrence got, right? Okay, so why? You say, well, gosh, they really didn't stick to their guns and that. You know why they didn't stick to their guns? Try fucking fielding an NFL team with a shitty quarterback. And I'll tell you, that's how come they didn't stick to their fucking guns, right? And Dak and them played it right. Dak has more off the field than pretty much anybody going in terms of money. Money ain't the thing, but fuck that. You don't respect me. So, yeah, man, shit, man, I did all this shit for you, and we're going to let it play out. Oh, you going to let it play out, huh? Damn, man. I wonder how many franchises in the NFL are going to look and say, wow, we got stiffs at QB. Here's this fucking Prescott guy who knew you surround him with a decent team, run game O-line, he can perform better than these idiots from college who we have no idea about. We think we know, but we don't. Right. But with this Prescott guy, we know. Okay, so that's how come that happened. When you have a competent quarterback, all right, and hey, and if to a lesser extent, Zen can talk about this. With Rodgers, he's older and he's not the same guy. Okay, and he can miss time, which it looks like he's going to. That's what we're talking about, right? When you got to trot in all these backups, I don't give a rat's ass. All right. It's just that is just so critical to your football team when he has time. And now he has a run game. Okay. Yep. Now you start to see, okay, man, hey, look, do you want the 11th, 10th, 12th best quarterback in the NFL that's proven it? Now going into, what would have been before that year, his 8th season? Or do you want to say, you know what, man, I'll tell you what, man, one of these college jerk-offs, right? Like, they might be the guy. Damn. And I say this because, and with Trevor Lawrence, finest prospect to me, in my opinion, prospect, potential in any sport ever. All right, let's start checking boxes. Size, speed, throwing the football. What did he do when he got to Clemson? As soon as he got to Clemson, the motherfucker won the goddamn national title and played for. He did the most.
I gotta hit the pause button on you, Joey.
No, hang on a second.
No, we gotta have no. We gotta have a timeout on that shit.
I'm talking about prospect.
You ever heard of LeBron James?
You
ever heard of LeBron James, bro?
No. LeBron James is the other guy. I will say this, Zen. LeBron James is the other guy that I think is the finest prospect ever. Now, LeBron has proven his shit. LeBron is the finest prospect.
He came out the box killing, though.
Oh, no. LeBron is the finest athlete. I think LeBron's the best athlete that ever lived. All right? We're not talking about performance. We're talking about just physically. I said saying about
Will Chamberlain has something to say about that. But go ahead.
I'm just saying about Lawrence. What I'm saying about Lawrence was he checked every single box, and he checked a real big box. He married his high school sweetheart, never had a fucking issue whatsoever off the field, which you say same thing about LeBron. LeBron under all this would never had an issue. So now he's struggling. It just shows the inexact science of prospects. If I tell you, okay, well, you're going to let Prescott go, and you're going to get a Lawrence-esque prospect, brilliant prospect. Where is the production? Where is the, hey, man, I took a team to Hurts has been around less time than fucking Lawrence, and everybody's all in Hurts' ass, and all Hurts did is have the best progression of any quarterback you can name outside of Brady. That's all Hurts did. So, again, it's an inexact science. So, back to the Cowboys and Prescott, you go with the guy that you know. When this guy's on, all right, and I want to introduce a new word before I land the plane. Accuracy. Accuracy. When Dak is accurate, and he's more accurate this year than he's ever been, okay, that's one meaning of it. And also, speaking about Dak, again, man, this guy's either, oh, yeah, he's the greatest ever, or he's fucking trash. Bullshit. He's not trash, okay? He's a guy using the Steeler blueprint that if you put a great team around him, like you did with fucking Roethlisberger, you can win with him. And I believe you can win a Super Bowl. The truth between trash and the greatest ever always lies somewhere in the middle. But again, try life with a stiff fucking playing QB and they get back to me. And try with Mason Rudolph. All right. Who are these other jerk-offs that the Steelers wrote out there when they had a solid team? And they get back to me and let me know how you feel about Aquarius Prescott.
Had to throw Mason Rudolph in my face, did you?
Yeah, he did.
We'll see him on Sunday.
Mason Rudolph was smart enough to throw deep to Pickens every time Awuzie was on him. That was the one great Pickens game. And Mason Rudolph's like, shit, I can throw deep to him every time because Trubisky wouldn't even throw to him deep. That's not cold.
Quiet as kept. Word around the campfire is a lot of folks would rather see Mason Rudolph for the rest of the season. But I'll digress. Our man Hoop jargon.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh.
Okay.
I love you, man.
We got a lot divergent. So what's actually the point I need to hit on?
Dak and the new look offense, how they lit up the Raiders and you know, Prescott.
Oh, shut. I done drove it into a ditch again.
Our guy Prescott. Dak Prescott's 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pickens and Lamb's great games. If you would please, no one's spoken about Pickens and Lamb at this point, and they had great games.
Yeah,
terrific.
So that's actually what I want to lead it with George Pickens, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, story time, Hoop Jar.
Yeah.
You may have a guy who may have, got off on the wrong foot, thought this was this, but it was actually that. Someone who, we call hard heads, knuckleheads, you need a few times but the third time, they figure it out. And listen, I love CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb alive. I fucking love George Pickens. This is a dog. He's a dog. And he's, you know what I'm saying? It's just with a so-called problem child. Once it clicks. And I would argue, I'll take George Pickens over CeeDee Lamb. And no disrespect to CeeDee Lamb. Because I love CeeDee Lamb because he's level-headed. He knows you're going to get out CD. He plays, a very
he's not crotch chopping on people for no reason.
Exactly. And he plays all parts of the field for fucking
that shit was still dope though.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But CeeDee Lamb is what you want out of a guy who can run the whole route tree, he can run the slot, he can run outside, he can give you everything.
He's a steady number one. A very steady number one.
This nigga George Pickens, dog, is something else.
But Pickens is dope, man. He good.
That boy good.
Hey, Hoop, you need peanut butter with jelly. I'm sorry.
Huh?
You need both of these guys. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying
I agree. I agree.
Because there's a pending contract situation with George Pickens. Yeah. So the question is about Dak Prescott, and I'm just saying to have him at his top level, this motherfucker who's humble, who's been humbled by not having a favorable situation from a classic franchise. Much respect to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's on a team now with arguably a way higher clout level, but just I'm gonna put it this way: he has first world problems, as far as his association to teams, right?
Offensively, anyway. Anyway.
Shit. So with all that being said, the Cowboys need to lock this dude in. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I seen Dez Bryant running interference to get that going. But yeah, I mean, because listen, man, Dak.
It could happen.
I've been saying this on my social media page. He's been the best quarterback, not named Baker Mayfield, for pretty much 80% of this season. Now, last 2 weeks, well, not this week, but Cardinals and the Broncos, not so much. But I say any quarterback, you can allow a few, stinkers, because going back to who we face next week, I believe the Chiefs, right?
Dallas?
Right? Huh?
Yeah.
Chiefs. Okay,
So this upcoming week you got the Eagles.
No, the Eagles are Sunday. Chiefs are Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah, Chiefs Thanksgiving. So we got two big ones, i.e.
the last two Super Bowl champions.
There you go. And also who played each other in the last Super Bowl, for that matter.
That's correct.
So with that being said, I think we look good going towards them with Dak at the helm, because listen, man,
Yes.
you don't have your clunkers, but Dak Prescott, with all these weapons, and then you guys mentioned the run game with Javonte Williams, man, doing his damn thing.
Balance.
Game. This is going to, the Eagles was I think the game number 1, and we had a tough loss, which was kind of a moral victory win. And generally speaking, we usually split with the Eagles. So I think this might be a split situation. I think so. I guess in all, what I'm saying is, we was looking to turn the corner as a football team, and I thought we would do this before the goddamn Cardinals game. It didn't happen, but bringing in, those trades that we got, Big Williams in the middle, nigga. From my perspective, this may be, I don't know, like Joey said, we might got to go 7-1 to really make something happen, to have a playoff team, but we may be that good, because I don't care what nobody says. You beat the Raiders, but nigga, we let everybody have their best game against us. Everybody puts up 25, 30 points against us, and we did not do that.
If the Cowboys are the 7th seed and the Eagles are the 2 seed, do you think there's no way on God's green earth the Cowboys win that game? Bullshit.
We can win that because we do that.
I'm saying there's a chance.
That's what the NFL East is, though. The NFL East is full of parity. It's parity. So ultimately, let me land here. The things that I had questions about this football team got answered yesterday. We got a fucking front 4/5, or however the package
Interesting.
Alludes to.
Yes.
We can fuck some people up front, and our secondary is slowly getting there. Overshown's back. So this may be one of those weird years where like the record looks so weird, but we got the requisite talent to get to the next level. We just do.
But the NFL is weird right now.
Yes.
The NFL is weird right now.
The NBA is weird right now.
This is just the kind of weird ass year to break through.
Absolutely. So
you just made an awesome segue, if you will. Go ahead and wrap. But if you would,
I'll wrap it real quick. Sure. So at the end of the day, Dak Prescott, who had a lot of question marks over the past 2 weeks, had 4 touchdowns, 268 yards, 25 for 33, accuracy through the roof. Javonte Williams, 22 carries for 93 yards. And George Pickens, man.
Cracked 20. And it helped. Yep.
George Pickens, 9 receptions for 144. CeeDee Lamb, 5 for 66 yards. But these guys are simpatico. These guys are not tripping. They feeding off each other, and I love to see it, man. And I think that this team led by Dak Prescott is definitely something to, unconventionally be something to be optimistic about.
That's 2 guys at over 200 yards, touchdown, and Ferguson got a touchdown, and Prescott didn't throw it 40 times, and he really didn't have to run much. That's a perfect Dak game. Perfect Dak game.
So I interrupted Hoop Jargon because he had began talking about the defense, and what I was thinking as he was speaking about the defense is that, this is the Raiders, and you're expected to win. You should win. And the defense played really well. Now, I would suggest that you take this as a, let's call it a user acceptance testing, as we say in IT.
Mm-hmm.
And next week you go into production, actual live production. This was a
Okay.
dry run. Okay, I know we're saying the Raiders are an NFL team, but this is an NFL team that wants to lose right now, unfortunately. So
Fair enough.
they're going to. When you do face the Eagles next week, that will be a division game. That will be against the Super Bowl champions, and you will be tested. You will be facing the tush push. You'll be facing A.J. Brown, and you'll be facing Saquon Barkley. It's a lot different than what you got this week. So with that in mind, do you feel that this defense will be able to perform the way it did or even close to the way it did against the Philadelphia Eagles as it did to the Oakland Raiders? We'll go ahead and start with D. Brown on this topic.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a bigger challenge, no doubt. But when like Troy Aikman said, when you add a Quentin Williams, you've gotten better, and you've gotten better in terms of what he brings to the table, and you've also, as evidenced by a little bit what we saw last night, and we talked about it prior to the game last night, is that the addition of that level of talent, because he's irrefutably a disruptive defensive talent, but now you're getting contributions from guys, or you're seeing more impactful contributions from guys you expected from before he got here, right? Like an Odigizua, like Clark, Jadeveon Clowney's has been coming on. You're going to need that because, to sit here and automatically think, well, they did against the Raiders, they can have that success against the Eagles. Well, that's not your thing. We have to be realistic. This is a team that's lost a total of 3 games in 2 years to this point. So, I mean, your best foot, whatever that looks like, is going to have to come forward on this game because you're playing, the best team in football. They haven't played probably, especially offensively, to the level that people expected, especially given the offensive production of last year. But be that as it may, they're 8-2. I mean, that says a lot when this team hasn't performed to the expectation, as it relates to last year, and yet you're still 8-2. They're finding ways. Jalen Hurts quoted, they're finding ways. They know how to win games. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you made these moves or what have you, I think you've done what you needed to have a probably more impactful showing than you did in week 1, which was not a bad showing. That was an extremely winnable game. As we've gotten further down the season, you kind of lament the fact that they didn't win the game. There were plays that were happening that looked as though they were going to win the game. Most notably, the Miles Sanders fumble when Dallas, for all intents and purposes, was going in to score. Philly was doing very little to stop them. Now, they may have had some chances, particularly they didn't defend Jalen Hurts particularly well. This is where an overshown helps you. This is where, the addition of Quentin Williams helps you. And because Quentin Williams is there, now perhaps Odigizua and James and those guys get in the backfield because they're having to pay so much attention to the disruptive Quentin Williams. So I think Dallas has done enough. And Logan Wilson, I think he did some good things last night too, as he acclimates himself into this team and this system. So, whatever the best foot forward that the Dallas can produce to beat a team like the defending champion Eagles, I think they've got it on the field, and I think they're capable of having an even better showing, especially defensively, than they did in week 1. And I think I think they left some meat on the bone, offensively in that game. I know they did. So, is it a winnable game? Can they step up and get it done against these cats? Well, yeah, and I'll land it here. When you play a team the caliber of the Eagles, which is always a big game anyway because it's a division rival. I mean, we know that Dallas Philly history is well documented, but these motherfuckers are defending champs too. So, everything about this game, whatever Dallas has in terms of putting their best effort forward, playing these guys it should raise that level. Like there doesn't really need to be a big, motivational speech or whatnot. Man, these are motherfuckers we love to hate most. Let's be real. And by the way, they're defending, champs. And they're coming to your front yard. And to Cliff's point, even when they seemingly have had the upper hand in years past, we split these matchups. So I expect a really, really good game. And I think, to tie into the question and pass it to the fellas, the moves that they made and, just a glimpse of what we saw in this Raiders win. This is the most equipped that they've been all season to beat a team the caliber of the Eagles, and we'll see what kind of effort they put forward.
If you don't win this one, you're not serious. That's how I look at it.
I love it.
If you don't win this one, you're not serious.
There you go.
All right, it's a division opponent. All right, it's a division opponent. I don't want to hear about fucking looking past them or any shit like that. I don't want to hear about an off game. All right, everybody at that fucking facility better be down the fuck in. All right, You have to win this game. This is it. Win this game. Then you show, okay, and here's the thing. This has happened previously in Cowboy history. Okay, I'm going to take you back to 1991. Cowboys are 6-5, got some crappy breaks. They're building something, but they're 6-5. All right, the fucking Redskins are 12-0. Okay, Cowboys go up to RFK. They pull out all the stops and win that game and win the last fucking foreign season.
Yeah, they do.
They go on a run. All right. And this is not just a Jimmy Johnson thing. All right. Parcells, when the Colts came to town, when the Colts were damn near fucking, they're like they're undefeated, like they were either undefeated or one loss or whatever it was. They were the class of the NFL, right? Cowboys got in their ass and won the game.
Yes, they did.
And it propelled them to make that run to get into the playoffs. Okay?
That was a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, exactly. The Landry's Cowboys. All right, 1978. Oh man, we don't know what's going on. We're 6-4. Oh, what's going to happen? Yeah, well, they fucked around. All right, and they ripped off 6 in a row and went back to the fucking bowl. Okay?
Yep.
Win this game and show that you're serious. By hook or by crook. And like you guys said about the Eagles, they've won games every kind of fucking possible way. Specialty teams, offense, defense, right? But you know what? They can be had. I've said this. I said, it's crazy thing. I said this about them last year. I thought they were imminently beatable. The scores don't show it because they just waxed Dallas twice. I don't think that there's any real fear here with the Cowboys in terms of taking on the Eagles, who are, as I land the plane, the blueprint of the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles are the blueprint. First of all, draft brilliantly. They got rid of the kid from Texas is starting for them this year as a rookie. They started 2 rookie corners last year. Enough fucking said. Draft brilliantly.
Yeah.
And then pick your little perfect spots in free agency. Saquon Barkley. Boom. Guy turns out to be the best player in the league last year. I don't think there's much doubt about it. Carries them to the Super Bowl. And then, Hurts, who everybody says sucks, dominates in the Super Bowl when they shut Barkley down. Wow. Sounds like your front office gets a fucking A+. All right, from where I'm sitting. They are the big boys. beat their ass this week. We'll worry about Thanksgiving after this week. Get this one and show that you're serious.
I like it.
Plane landed. This is the Straight No Chaser podcast. I think you just got a shot of 151 to the dome.
Yeah.
With
Rodrigo.
no chaser, baby.
I love it.
No chaser.
Yes, sir.
Rodrigo.
As we move on, fellas, before we get to your picks
No,
for this week.
hold on. I ain't gonna take.
Oh, my bad. I'm about to skip the
Yes,
bars
sir,
over here.
Yes, sir, Moot. Yes, sir.
See, this is why he get paid the big bucks, y'all. That's why.
The knowledge is for big bucks.
Hoop jargon.
He's 6'7". Don't piss him off.
If you would.
No, man. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. Can we do this with this new defense? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's trek it back. This was a game when people started to take us seriously off rip with a new coach, with Micah Parsons gone, with Dak Prescott with question marks, with in some ways CeeDee Lamb with, well, definitely George Pickens with question marks because he was a reclamation process.
He was new. He was new.
Absolutely. And we played Philly down to everything Philly could take. Sans a few CeeDee Lamb drops. Bro, that was a dub, right? So this was Kenny Clark coming out party, plugging that middle up. And, we got Quentin Williams. Like, what we talking about here? I know we beat the shit out of the shitty-ass Raiders, but something we've shown a propensity for, that shitty-ass teams can still get their offense on against us. And if we go back to last week, look at Geno Smith, man, 238 yards, not horrible. One touchdown.
A guy who's done it before in this league.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I said about the game, if you're going to get your shit off, it's against us. Alshon Gentry, 6 carries, 7 yards. Dog.
That's good work.
Major.
That's good work.
That's major.
Rico Dallas.
Right?
Brees, what's my man from the Jets that got hurt?
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. I mean, they all got off.
Yes.
I think them days are over. I think those days are over.
Denver, them no-name
point,
ran all over us, right? So, my point is,
not no more.
Yeah, exactly. As JC said, not no more. So, I got full confidence because with a lot of question marks, I get it. Week 1 and not a lot of films out. You're going out and then you learn tendency, 12. I get that.
Yeah.
However, I got confidence in what I've seen because what we had a problem with is giving Jalen Hurts too much time. And Jalen Hurts traditionally is not a great drop back passer, but he had time to do what the fuck he was doing.
Right.
That's what killed him in game 1. Yeah. Hurts is the guy running that killed him in game 1. No doubt. And to piggyback on what you said before I throw it back to you, Schottenheimer said, man, we're building something here, man. This is where you fucking build it. Right here.
In the NBA, Jalen Hurts is what we would call a combo guard.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, Zed. It's a great
Absolutely. So
I was the first combo guard before they actually started recruiting him, but that's another story.
Combo.
It wasn't a real thing back then, but yeah. I was a man without a position because I like to shoot at 6'1", but they didn't come up with the term combo guard until fucking Curry and all these assholes came along. But yeah,
undersized shooting guards. That's what.
Well, you have a position. Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah. So we
that's
really
how
have
it
a position
started.
for you.
That's how it started.
Well, we really
don't
don't have a position for you, man. They're going to run you through picks and all this shit. But anyway.
Yeah. So again, to set all that backdrop, we're in a position where our defense has exponentially got better. We're in a position where Dak Prescott and
Force multiplier.
Absolutely. There you go. There's that word. We're a better team. Philly is pretty much where they've been since last year. You know what I'm saying? A solid team. They remind me of my 2001 Lakers. Once there's a third championship year, and we weren't necessarily world beaters no more. We just knew how to get through a season and plod our way to the championship. That's what Philly is right now. Like you said, Saquon Barkley last year was probably the best football player in the NFL. This year, not so much.
On earth.
Yeah. That was a hell of a
Everybody
sign.
always, all running backs take a step down after they go for 18, 19, 2000. They all take a step down the next year. It's just a fact.
And check it. A.J. Brown, quiet as kept, is having a lot of dissension that he's putting on his team because he's not getting a motherfucking rock, right? So
50,
my point
50
is,
yards a game.
huh?
Wow.
50 yards a game.
Yes. And he said, if you got me on your fantasy league, you should drop me.
Oh, yeah, I'd be pissed too.
That's called a
AJ,
micro.
yeah.
We talked about that early in the season.
Yeah.
Come on now. So
Fantasy's for fruits. I'm trying to win games. 8-2 is plenty good enough for me.
absolutely. But it just shows you those lines of dissension. Shout out to my old coach Clardy out from where did Andre Emmett play at? Dallas
Carter.
So my
High
coach
school.
Duco at Mountain View
God
College.
rest his soul.
Jimmy Clardy, rest in peace to Jimmy Clardy. He coached Andre Emmett at Dallas Carter. But he said
The guy that played for Texas Tech, right? Andre Emmett?
Yeah.
He played for Coach Knight. Yeah.
Yes. Is he deceased? Is Andre? Did he get killed in Dallas?
He got shot. Yeah, he got shot
holy
outside his crib.
shit. Yeah, that's right. He sure did.
Yeah, he's one of my young boys. Yeah.
But his coach, Jimmy Clardy, who was my coach in JUCO, he was talking about the word dissension. And dissension is a thing, man. Like when you start to put those negative vibes into the team chemistry, it will show up. Now, what week? Who knows? But ultimately,
just like I said, we ain't in the locker room. There it is.
Absolutely. But when people start to put those gems out there like he is doing, you know, with no well, he's doing to the behest of no one. He's putting these things out there showing he's frustrated.
Right.
So my whole point is this is not a team that we can't beat. I think that we are on the trend very highly. Hoop Jargon told you first. Straight No Chaser Cowboys podcast told you first. We are trending high than E motherfucker. So
they're not hitting on all cylinders right now.
Huh?
Can I
interject something real quick?
Not by a long shot.
All right,
Can I interject something real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, Clip. So I love where you're going with this on the everything is not, rosy. As a matter of fact, on my iPad, I think I sent it to you guys. So the buzz, and this is from the Philly media, because I love reading the media input from other teams, particularly ones that the team that we're on, obviously the Cowboys, is about to play. And that Philly media ain't no punk. But the very interesting buzz is that Hurts, and I'm looking at it right now, is that Hurts, quote, is Wentz-like in the building. That's not an endorsement at all.
Not liked.
What are these idiots thinking? Why would they think that?
Well, it's due to as I got more in depth.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, it's
is it the popularity of AJ Brown? I mean,
no, not so much that. It's not just. AJ Brown certainly factors into the conversation, but it's Wentz. Wentz. Hurts' now propensity to play closer to the vest and not let the thing rip, and be more in tune to the safe play as opposed to pushing the ball down the field, trusting his guys to win on routes. When you've got an AJ Brown,
we thought that got a raw deal. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
they're giving Hurts shit now. Jesus, Joseph.
Hold on. Again, this is Philly media. This isn't the
no, please, brother, please,
what have you. But the thing is that when being approached, we've all played at a level. So when you have internal spats, when you have dissension, you should be able to go to your guy and talk it out, right? You work it out. There's static, and there's this unapproachable vibe that's being referenced as far as this Wentz-like
Like
aura.
Romo caught that shit with T.O.
Correct.
Romo caught the same shit with T.O. Unapproachable. And Patrick Creighton backed him up and was like, hey, man, it can't just be fucking Witten all the time.
Right.
All right. So, like, just involve us. Right. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I wanted to interject with but I'm throwing back to Cliff is that there to galvanize your point, Cliff, before you go back and do your thing and land it, is there's very definitely an ill wind blowing in Philly. Right. I mean, they've managed to win in spite of, but to your point about them being able to be had, truer words are never spoken. There's definitely ill wind blowing there. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll land it real quick.
A little bit.
This has always been the case. This has always been the case with us in Giants, us in Philly, us in Washington. Like, so we came into the Washington game like, oh, this is gonna be an L. Easy dub, right? With Philly, part one, a game that is supposed to be a Cowboy ass whooping, they had to pull it out, and CeeDee Lamb had to uncharacteristically drop, 3 passes for that to happen? 5 passes. Right? So, no.
And a fumble on the way in to score. With my
absolutely, from Williams. So.
And the one that he dropped, like the deep one, he caught the same one against the Redskins and looked at the 2 defenders as they crashed into each other and walked in.
Absolutely.
It's shit you've seen him do trillions of times.
Absolutely.
Literally.
So my point is, these motherfuckers are highly beatable. So man, it just goes back from when we got I got Amari Cooper, man.
Correct.
And we beat him in overtime when we were like floundering at the time with Carson Wentz being
wow, these Alabama guys are good and shit.
Right.
Like, you get these Alabama guys out of a bad situation. Holy fucking cow, they can play. Who knew?
Except what's old buddy, the running back Trent Richardson? Beside him,
Right. There you go.
That motherfucker can't see an open hole if he was in a whorehouse.
I made him a fullback in Madden. He was fucking awesome.
You should have made him a goddamn water boy. But all that being said, this is a beatable team.
100%.
We are one of the best 5-4-1 teams that are in the NFL because we have a very
4-5-1, sir. 4-5-1.
4-5-1 team. We're the best 4-5-1 team in the NFL, and
in history.
Probably in history.
In history, they had the best quarterback, the best D line. I mean, come the fuck on, best receivers, good run game. I mean, seriously,
absolutely. And then now the
4-5-1, heart of a champion.
Absolutely. But the caveat is our defense is like that now, at least from the front.
Already.
We got guys who coming back. So, yeah, man, I have full confidence that we're going to take these dudes down. I don't look at this as a game that I'm like, I'm scared of or I'm overthinking it. No, not at all. This is a game that's highly winnable, and I landed there.
My man, there you have it. Well, look, guys, this has been a fantastic episode of Straight No Chaser. Despite some horrible technical difficulties at the outset, we got the plane landed several times. We wanted to cover
Dallas
a lot more tonight.
We did that shit.
we wanted to cover
Dallas
a lot more
fucked
tonight.
the whole thing up with their technical difficulties. That's on me and DB.
We wanted to cover a lot more tonight, but what matters is that the energy's high and that everybody's having a good time. And I think we accomplished that mission. So look forward to this upcoming week against the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we go, let's get everyone's quick picks on Sunday's game against the Eagles. Let's get your predictions
now. Do it now, or are we going to do it Sunday?
What do you want to do?
Let's tease that.
Why not?
Let's tease that.
Right.
Okay.
Let's tease that.
Tune in Sunday morning.
Tune in.
You don't get it right now.
We're doing some broadcasting shit now. Let's tease that for Sunday.
We meant to do that.
Hey, which song is better? San Diego Chargers, San Diego Chargers, or the Philly with McFadden and Whitehead Ain't no stopping us now.
That's easy. Come on.
And it's
Philly
not even
Eagles.
close.
Which one's better?
Right in, and it's
That's
not even
big
close.
easy. That's like New Orleans easy.
Right.
I'm going with the Chargers because I love their uniforms and I hate the Eagles. But that McFadden Whitehead jam is pretty dope.
Yeah, I grew up on that. That's like asking me if
100%.
Willie Starr on the Pirate song. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
There you go.
Anyway, this has been the Tuesday night
family.
edition of Straight No Chaser podcast featuring Joey Flosa, the
This
Italian
jazz was fine
American,
as hell, too.
to the upper left. Cliff, Hoop Jargon CEO. Make sure you head to Hoop Jargon on YouTube. That's at Hoop Jargon. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a damn thing the brother puts out. D Brown, the OG Cowboys analyst, the best of the best, as they raise their glasses. And I raise my can, fellas. It's been a great night. Straight No Chaser podcast. We out.
No Chaser. Room temperatures.
Go,
No
baby,
cut, no
Cowboys.
America's team.
Peace.
Who you with? Cowboys. Yes.
I need to